brothers and sisters, in our everyday lives, we don't really understand how the process works because we're so used to it, inured to it. But basically, we desire something and we bring it towards ourselves and we bring ourselves to it, and then we deal with it. And at a certain point in our lives, we desire truth and we desire peace and we desire love. And then those things come to us too. We don't usually desire peace until we've had our run with excitement and distraction and drama and addiction. But at some point, we do desire peace. And that's when it comes. Just a second. How we achieve peace, however, is very different from how we achieve other things in our life. We may get a picture of what we want, and we put energy towards bringing that picture into life. The creative process is happening all the time. But desiring oneness with God requires something a little bit different than going after it and making it happen. Actually, it's impossible to go after it and make it happen, because where you're coming from when you're trying to make it happen is not from the place where you really abide. It can't be gotten from there. This one always gets this image of two friends talking, and one says to the other, "I've been working on teaching myself how to levitate." And his friend says, "Really? How far have you gotten?" And the friend says, I'm about 98% of the way there. I've really been working on this." So the other one says, "Can you show me how far you've gotten?" He says, "Yes, watch this." And he sits on the ground and he lifts his legs up and he lifts his trunk up so that the only part touching the ground are his two little sits bones underneath of himself. And he looks at his friend and he says, "How about that? I'm 98% of the way levitated." There's something absurd about that. You can't get there from there. And in the same way, it does require that you release the idea that you're going to get yourself enlightened and you're going to get yourself awakened. The pathway to awakening is enhanced by your desire for peace and love. And if your interest becomes only the good, the holy, and the beautiful, you make it much easier for the process to take place. The more you desire those things, the more they will be in your life, the more familiar you will get. And things that you used to find interest in will fade into the background. And you'll begin to see what's really there. The good, the holy, and the beautiful are really there. They won't show up if you don't desire them. And if that's really what you're interested in, you'll start to see it everywhere. You'll see the blessing in everything. And there's a kind of humility. It's paradoxical because it's humility, and yet it's the recognition of your greatness, but not from an ego place. When you realize that you can't levitate yourself, and you can't really awaken yourself, not from the ego, not through any spiritual practice, then you can really ask for help. And not just because you're desperate, not just because you're miserable, but because you really, truly desire to be who you are, to know who you are, and to express the love that you are in the world more than anything else. Then I can be the most helpful to you. It's happening. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.